Good evening. Stream's a fair bit later than I was expecting, mostly because I got held up at work. It's one of those things where, like, it wasn't like, oh, I have to stay back and do work or anything. It was just like, hey, if you've got a minute. And then that turned into, like, 40 minutes. Not even, like, we just didn't know the time passed. So yeah, I was late making dinner. Yeah, I was late, excuse me. And I was also late to getting to the shops too. But I'm here now. Yeah. Hopefully I can keep this up. Yeah. Endwalker MSQ. We're finally here. We're finally about to hit credits for the second time. Oh, did I not? Wait, where's MooBot? Where'd my MooBot tab go? Oh, because I was using that to look for gifts, right? I remember now. Yeah. I don't think there's too much to say, but I'm probably gonna save like a fair bit of talking for like afterward. Because I kind of, it's not gonna be like a lengthy retrospective or anything, but like, given people's like divided opinions on the patches, I feel like it'd be an interesting thing to talk about to at least get my perspective off on the stream, and then just kind of talk about where I think we're going. So, maybe not just yet, but we might be getting into Dawn Trail. Not spoilers, because I guess it's like just everything that's publicly known, but obviously I would bet some people probably don't look too closely at the MSQ stuff or anything related to the future expansions, so yeah. Alright. Let's get started, shall we? Hi, Varshan. When one door closes, Varshan has a message from Charlian. Aldine, one of my clerks was just here with a message for you. The students of Baldessian request your presence in Charlian at your earliest convenience. Indebted as I am to our friends, I had hoped that I too might be of service, but it is you alone that they require. If you've no pressing business, pray make your way to the Baldessian Annex at once. Ojika awaits your arrival. In the meantime, I shall continue showing Eshdaya the city. From notable landmarks to the people's lives, there is still much and more for her to see. Farewell for now, my friend. I look forward to the day we set forth on another adventure together. Oh no, I didn't get to click Eshdaya before. Oh, I kind of hate that. Oh, I wish there was a way to go back. I mean, I guess I could abandon the quest, but it's not that important. It's not that important. It's not that important. It is not that important. It's not that important. My rule for, like, going through the MSQ the first time has always been talk to everyone before you start the quest. I didn't think the quest starter was gonna leave immediately. Usually I'm safe for that. It's like... usually I'm safe for that for, like, patch beginnings, not in the middle of them, like... Awesome. Hello, I'm back. A warm and hearty welcome to you, Aldine. I gather you received our message. Please wait here while I fetch Kryl and Graha. Thank you for coming on such short notice. And forgive us for sending for you so soon after your trials in the Void. Say nothing of your grueling battle against the 12. Oh, huh. Now then, we aren't actually the ones who require your assistance, but Erenville. He stopped by recently, you see, and asked us to reach out to you on his behalf. Oh. Well, I know why, but I imagine you're surprised as we are, given that he was supposed to be away on a long expedition. Something must have necessitated a change in his plans. All he would tell me is that there is someone whom he wishes Aldine to meet. He also mentioned that he would be tending to business at the Studium. Shall we look for him there? Oh, we didn't wave back. I'm back here now. Oh, sort of halfway up there? Weird kind of walking back. Erenville's early return likely has something to do with his visitor. With this visitor. Who could it be, I wonder? Now then, where is Erenville?
Erenville!
Apologies for the wait. I hope I haven't called you away from anything important. I chanced upon some commissioned items at my destination, so I thought I might deliver them.
Where did you go, if I may ask?
The New World. Tural.
You went to Tural? Then the person who you wish to introduce...
Aye, she hails from there. I present to you...
I didn't think she was... Yeah.
But it seems you've lost her.
Did she wander off?
Like, hesitant, like... I think you lost her. That was good.
Sorry. It's just so different here. I can't help but want to explore.
Well, while you were exploring, your candidate came to us.
Candidate, huh?
This is him. The adventurer you crossed the seas to meet.
Ooh, you weren't exaggerating. It's plain he's no ordinary man.
It's
I'm
already very
Clement,
animated.
claimant to the throne of Tulihuela.
Tulihyolol. Not Tuliolol. Tulihyolol. Claimant too? After 10 years, I'll finally use my first Fantasia when DT drops. Fair enough. Also, hi, Rizaki.
Tulihyolol.
It's Tural's governing nation. The capital bears the same name.
I'll get to the point. I want you to come with me to my homeland.
Given the magnitude of the request, perhaps you should explain why you're making it?
Yeah.
Of course.
It's like
Soon,
level...
an event of great
Oh yeah,
import
shit,
will be
she
held
is
in
almost as
Tural.
tall as Aldine.
The right of succession.
You can fucking cry. It's that fucking Tyler 1 meme of him looking up at some taller woman. God damn. Okay.
Taking the form of a contest, it will determine who next ascends the throne. As daughter to its present keeper, I will participate. And I have every intention of winning.
Okay.
I was searching for champions to join me when Erenville told me about you. A mighty warrior who knows no fear, who sweeps aside terrible fiends as if they were reeds, who flew to the edge of existence and saved our star.
Hey, Erenville. Were you really talking us up like that?
She asked who Eorzea's greatest hero was, and so I told her. Much more elegantly, I might add.
Oh, that's cute.
Now you know why. You'll come to Toral, yes?
Wait, let's all just slow down. Wuklamat, was it? You claim to be of the royal family, but is it not the Mamulja who rule in Tural?
Tulihyolal is a nation of many peoples. Not only the Mamulsha, as some across the seas are quick to assume. That said, its present ruler is a Mamulsha, and one blessed with two heads besides. He's also my father. Not by blood, obviously, but he raised me as his own, and that's what matters.
So that is the way of it. My apologies if I was indelicate.
Hardly. I know little about your land, and nothing about your parentage.
10 out of 10. Perfect character. We can end the MSQ right here. Doesn't fucking matter. I'm sold. We're going.
But in my eagerness, I've gotten ahead of myself. I can't expect you to agree on the spot when we've only just met. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Just know, though, that if it's adventure you seek, you could do far worse than come with me. No, this is only a rumor.
Uh-huh.
But
City of Gold
apparently,
mention.
the contest will involve the fabled City of Gold and the legendary beast, Valyarmanda.
Moon Breeder. Yeah, I can see it. I need a bit more to like get there, maybe.
Tell me that doesn't pique your interest.
Wait a second. Oh, and the legendary beast Valigamanda. I thought she called the City of Gold Valigamanda, and I was like, no, that's not what that's called, right? But you have my complete attention.
We're going to get along, you and I. Tural has no shortage of unexplored frontiers and deadly fiends. You'll never want for excitement, I promise you.
I advise you not to put much store by these rumors. Golden cities are not but a dreamer's fancy.
Yeah, nugget of truth
Says
there.
the dreamer who was bent on finding one when he was a child. Just because you failed doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
I'm sorry, back up. How do you know this?
Tuliolal and the Golden City. Just like in the letter to Grandfather.
Regardless of what the contest may entail, it'll be no simple thing. If I'm to triumph, I'll need capable and dependable companions. So let's go on a hunt together. There's no better way to get acquainted.
Yeah. That works. Have you ever tried Bahamut fried chocobo? I love her already. 10 out of 10, no notes. I mean, I will still do stuff, but Okay. Yeah, goddamn. Like, if I remember in-game, Aldine's like 6'8" or something. That's a big woman. I also appreciate the fact that it looks like the Femroth were built from the ground up with hats in mind. Yeah, it'd be... Yeah, like, if they were taking the extra amount of time, like, to do it, I'm glad that they got that from the get-go, because I'm sure they probably learned trying to do that retroactively is a fucking pain in the ass. Now, that being said, it's probably worth noting this is a custom character. This is this is a character that's in the game before the rest of female Hrothgar. I would not be surprised if that may only apply to her, but also, it would be really stupid of them to put forward the first Femme Hrothgar with actual headgear, and then have all Femme Hrothgar not be able to wear headgear. Like, that would just be... yeah. Ooh, that would be a bad move. But yeah, like, she's, like, half a head shorter than Aldine, which is, like, yeah, okay, yep, big woman. I mean, yeah, you just look at the difference between her and Graha, goddamn. Sweet Christ, the mob's getting their pitchforks again. Yeah, no, it would be really stupid. It would be really stupid if they did that, but I'm not ruling it out. There's always a chance that that's... yeah. A journey to Tural. So, where to our hunt? The stronger the prey, the better. I gotta figure out how I can do her voice. That's long and short of it. At the very least, I ask that you go on this hunt of hers and take her measure for yourself. Yeah, that's a good idea. The game is afoot. Also, on the height aspect, she's probably only mid-height tops. That would also... yeah, that would be the hope. My hope would honestly be that they're as tall as, like, Elizin and... Wait, how tall are Viera compared to Elizin? I forget. I feel like Elizin are the tallest. Chance to see not only Tural, but the fabled Gold City besides. This is the stuff of great adventures, my friend. Which is not to say you should hastily accept this invitation, mind. There's still a great deal we do not know. So, let us begin to rectify that first by getting acquainted with our visitor in the manner she suggests. I'm not certain what might be a suitable location for her hunt, however. When I was at the guild earlier, I learned that learned about the petition from researchers on the Isle of Harm. You went there not long ago and culled some unruly fauna, of course, but according to recent reports, another ordinarily docile fauna have grown savage. It's believed that they've been unsettled by some manner of predator, and so the researchers seek assistance with identifying and dispatching it. As part of your hunt, perhaps you might answer the petition? The isle isn't far, and we would also be helping those in need. That works for me. Just so you know, I've honed my skills against some of the fiercest beasts in Tural. Whatever this creature is, it had better be able to put up a proper fight, or or it'll end before we have a chance to get acquainted. At max height, Elizin are 7 centimeters taller than Viera. Before we can prove ourselves capable and dependable companions. My apologies, but I must see to some preparations. Pray go on ahead to the Isle. I will join you as soon as possible. Oh. I don't know what that was about. If the rest of you are ready, let us head to the harbor. This being guild ship business, it should be simple enough to secure a vessel. Fuck, I feel like I got the subtlety of Ironville in that last, like, couple of lines, but then I completely lost it then. I mean, listen, so long, like, Wooklamat is probably not full height, female Hrothgar, which means they're already comparable to... I think Aldine is, like, just above average, or a little bit... No, it might be a little bit more than above average, honestly. Wait, what? Where are we going? Okay, yeah, Etherfront. Why did it... Oh, because I clicked on that instead of... Yeah, right. Yeah, I wouldn't expect Wooklamat to be max slider on almost anything. Like, I would also hope that, Rogadin, you could give them beef, but... I guess you couldn't really do that for male Hrothgar, but at the same time, like, they're kind of bulky and built already, so it was kind of just, like, there wasn't much more to their frame to do in that way. Ooh, should I go healer, or should I go something else? I forget what item level I am on everything. Oh, yeah, obviously I could manage summoner. I'm not really comparable on any DPS. Fuck it. Summoner it is. We have the loan of a ship from one of the captains. Cheery fellow. I can operate the vessel, so we don't need to worry. Don't need to trouble him to take us. Crow's acting a little strange, don't you think? This is just a simple hunt. What preparations he needs to make? So we have to take a ship? Oh, so we have to take a ship? Ah, I barely set foot on dry land. Oh well, I suppose it's for a good cause. A hunt. Come on, let's get going. Upon boarding the ship, several cutscenes. Yeah. All I know is on X-Pack I get to Fanta, name change, and glam check, so I'll probably start the story 24 to 48 hours after release. Yeah, I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do for expansion release. I'm still, like, I'm thinking...
From here, we must walk.
I'm thinking, honestly, that, like, I might give MSQ a miss and, like, start Pictomancer and stream that for a little bit until, like, I've given some time for MSQ to settle, and then go. Because I liked, like, kind of blitzing through it. Oh, actually, no. That's going to depend on if my raid mates are back. If my raid mates are back, I'm going to try and get on it ASAP. But if not, then, yeah. I might give it a week to see if, like, more people come around the stream after they've kind of, like, burnt through it.
So much ice. It rivals even Yogg-Tural.
That's North Tural, the one with the Solution 9.
Ooh, a white bear. I wonder what it tastes like.
Yeah, see, okay. Maybe, so you brought up Moonbreeder before, Ryuzaki, but I feel like... How do I want to phrase this? I feel like Moonbreeder's brand of, Herbo, I'm gonna say, is a lot more, like, precise? Whereas this feels a lot more airheaded. Like, despite obviously being, like, a real hothead, it felt like Moonbreeder, switched in and out of that and her scholarly nature a bit more deliberately, whereas I'm getting a lot more of, like, uncontrollable excitement from Wooklamat. Something I got after Fem Hrothgar was revealed was a Discord message from my blue raid leader that said, "Enjoy your Fanta, you traitor." Why? Why are you being called a traitor for that?
Remember, we're here to deal with creatures that have been deemed an unacceptable danger. Do not attack anything else unprovoked.
I know.
Oh, hi, Abby. He's also a Lullafell. Wow, you're going from one end of the spectrum to the other. Damn.
So this is the isle where ether literally bursts forth.
Aye, the Isle of Ham. The geysers lie deep inland, however.
I feel like these two know each other more than just, like, bumping into each other at Terral when Erenville just got there. Recently.
You really are knowledgeable. Kona told me nothing about this place.
I doubt your brother managed to come out this way. He's like to have toured facilities like Labyrinthos, however.
The great big cavern under the city. It's amazing that they could make a sky down there complete with a sun.
Yeah,
This
see...
brother of yours, he has been to Sharlayan.
See, I get a lot more dits from, Wooklamat as compared to, Moonbreeder. That probably doesn't matter for some people, and they paint them with the same brush, but I do find there's, like, a very distinct difference between those two. Because it's kind of like, I remember the last time I was torn on someone selling me as, oh, this character is just this person, was when Lucas said something to the effect of, Aki and Tokiko, and I was like, yeah, but also no. They feel like very different flavors of the same woman, if that makes sense.
He has. Kona's my second older brother. And until recently, he was a student in the city.
Ah.
He went on and on about technological amusements. It made me want to come here too one day. And so I did. I think I understood something of how he felt when I set foot in his beloved studium.
He went to the studium? Your brother must be quite a scholar. But I wonder, like you, he'd be royalty, yes? With such a personage coming to Sharlayan to receive an education would surely have caused a stir, yet I recall nothing of the sort.
It's probably kept on the down low.
He consulted with the head of the studium beforehand, that his identity might remain secret.
There it is.
Being Mikote, he had no trouble blending in. He's adopted like me, you see.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on. No, I'm calling a shot. I'm calling a shot right fucking here. So, Thancred and Urianger were talking about receiving a message looking for Archons, which obviously seems to be a hint towards future events, which would make sense that it's Dawn Trail. And now we have a brother and sister who are who are in positions to vie for the throne. Is the actual divide here gonna be between some people going with Wooklamat and some going with her brother? Is that what this is gonna end up being? I feel like that's...
One time, though, he almost let it slip to a professor. It was all he could do to parry the barrage of questions.
Having no shortage of questions myself, I can imagine.
Ask whatever you like. I don't mind. But I maintain, hunting together is the best way to get to know someone.
The researchers should be up ahead. Let's find them and learn what we can.
I just nailed why I felt the difference a lot more with Wooklamat and Moonbreeder, because it's the exact same thought I had about my Aura Rayan as compared to Moonbreeder. Because they're both very, like, they're very similar in, yes, big axe, we love that, but then one is very scholarly and can turn it off at the drop of a hat, whereas the other one is a bit more of a ditz and more worldly. Smart in her own way, but definitely not book smart, and definitely prone to... Yeah. Maybe I'm splitting hairs, but, like, there is, like, a distinction to her. She's not just Moonbreeder 2. At least in my opinion. Oh, uh-huh.
The researcher should be just ahead. There. The building to the northeast.
So, ordinarily harmless creatures have grown savage.
Don't know what's got them riled up, but I'll take down any that thinks to try me.
Oh, yeah.
Right, let's hunt our fill.
Oh, it's been a while since I've been on Summoner. Jesus. Oh, sorry, free.
Look! Someone's in trouble.
Yeah, taste my axe.
These animals are usually so docile.
Hard-pressed surveyor. Oh, thank goodness you've come. Take it you're the one who answered our petition. Wait, aren't you... You are! Aldine, the adventurer who saved our star. Oh, well, that our meeting was under better circumstances. I was conducting a routine inspection of the Ifrit, can you get out of the fucking way, bro? Routine inspection of the transporter here when I suddenly found myself surrounded. You'll find more of the same across the chasm. Once docile animals have grown strangely aggressive. My colleagues there can tell you more. If you give me just a moment, I can finish checking our equipment.
You really are famous.
And for good reason, as you'll soon see for yourself.
I mean, I already summoned Bahamut. Is that not enough? Yippee!
Quite an interesting contraption you've got here.
Oh, are we gonna get to go right this time?
Is that our petitioner? Let's go and have a chat.
If you've come to answer the petition, you should speak with my colleague here. Oh. The adventurer, come to... Fucking Ifrit, god damn it. The adventurer come to answer my petition, I presume. We're most fortunate to have one of your considerable skill here to aid us. A creature of unknown origins has been sighted on the island in recent days, and we believe its presence has affected the local fauna. The animals beyond this gate are the worst affected. We've encountered thus. Though we dare not go back. Your task is to quell any threats you find, and search for traces of the beast responsible for all this. If you should find anything at all, we'd be most grateful if you would share it with us.
I'll handle this.
Halfway through the explanation, Wuklamat has just like... Oh, what?
Ew.
Damn!
Is that all?
I should have been watching her animations. God damn it.
Come
There's
on,
an
let's get the
interesting
creature's
blue
trail.
tinge to her attacks so far. Oh. Find ravaged beast remains torn to shreds by sharp
These
talons.
claw marks. I've seen their like before.
Oh. Continue surveying.
It's starting to feel like a proper hunt.
You got that right. Fine feathers are scattered about the ground. There are signs of a fierce struggle.
Feathers. But did they belong to the predator or the prey?
Oh my god, are we going
So,
to...
how do you prefer our prey? Roasted or raw?
You presume it's even safe to eat?
I don't know if many of us would be able to stomach that, to stomach it raw. Also, I'm gonna make a call. We're probably gonna see one of the, Quetzal-like, Quetzal-like beings here. Cloying stench of fresh leavings assail your nostrils. Whatever beast left them is likely still close by.
Still fresh. Whatever this beast, it cannot be far.
Oh.
Do you suppose they're upset we disturbed their home?
Who knows? But if they're spoiling for a fight, then they've got one.
Let's head back and report what we found.
Can I... Oh, come on! Right, 'cause you probably can't jump over the fences, so it's a hard fucking... Alright. Oh, we're having a cutscene for this? Oh.
Powerful wings and razor-sharp talons. Worthy prey.
Yeah, okay.
Ah! What is that thing? It speaks?
Shit, okay. Never mind. Probably still from Terral, but...
I'll stay with the researchers. The creature, I leave to you.
Come, Woklamat!
Right.
Oof. That's rough, bud.
Just so we're clear, I wasn't startled by the beast earlier. It caught me by surprise, that's all.
Forgive me, but I failed to see a difference.
Graha, please!
I'm getting hungry. Let's be done with this so we can eat.
Caught me by surprise! Caught me by surprise!
Think you're clever, huh? I'll rip off that beak and roast you on a spit!
Oh, yeah, okay.
Talk all you like, bird. I'm going to have the last laugh. Oh, I'm going to enjoy sinking my teeth into you. Ah, shut up already, you blasted bird! out.
Oh, god damn it.
I've never seen such an enormous colibri.
Not good. Quickly, gather together.
Ugh. Gross.
I've got you.
That was too close.
Steady now.
This again. Oh, I should have saved that. Fuck.
Spread out, everyone.
Bruh, don't you fucking dare.
Who paid for that?
Oh. This is my Bahamut, you shit!
Thank you.
Ruined my burst phase, motherfucker. Oh, fuck off. Oh, god damn it.
That was hardly a tickle. Try this.
Holy shit, that animation.
They have you now, you loudmouth bastard!
Throw everything you have at it.
Die. Warriors are gonna get that next expansion, guaranteed. Well, I hope at
And I
least.
had barely limbered up.
I didn't actually think about whether or not,
It was a terrible foe, but no match for your axe.
There we go. There's a little more tact.
Only to be expected. You were pretty impressive yourselves. I was right to invite you on a hunt. But what a curious bird that was. Though we have similar in Tural, they don't grow so big or use such dirty tricks.
Yeah, I imagine that's the ether.
Aye, dirty and despicable. Otherwise, I could have easily...
Leave this to me.
Let's go, Cryo. I wonder if those animations might be indicative of warrior animations. That's got me thinking now, because they put in... They're clearly different from standard warrior. And, yeah, the twirl with the axe, I think, is the... Yeah, because overpower is an overhead swing, so the twirl with the axe is the follow-up, and that had a slightly different animation? I don't want to read into it, because sometimes characters have spell animations that are unique, but if they're putting Pictomancer stuff in here already... Fuck yeah.
I am
God,
terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
I'm not gonna lie, I kinda wish she lost the hood. I really, really want her to lose the hood entirely.
She arrived as I was seeing the researchers to safety. It was all I could do to keep up with her after I explained what happened.
I do like the fit, though.
So this is what you meant by seeing to preparations?
After hearing of the contest, I thought how wonderful it would be to join you. In coming here, I wanted to demonstrate my skill at arms to Wuklamut. Alas, it seems I missed most of the action.
That was amazing! The piece didn't stand a chance!
I'm glad to have been of service.
May I ask what inspired this change?
You will recall the time you descended to the ethereal sea in search of Hydaelyn. Recognizing that my skills were... inadequate, I chose to provide support from afar, rather than join you. It was the same when you set forth for Ultima Thule. How it pained me to stay behind, again and again. That's what inspired this change. Ever since the final days were averted, I've used every spare moment to hone my craft. As you all have adapted your methods to suit the circumstances, I started by considering how I might best contribute. And after much deliberation, I arrived at my answer. With
Oh
the esoteric
my
art passed
God.
down by the legendary Archon realm, Pictomancy.
Holy shit, realm mention! Oh my god, newest girl's gonna lose her shit. Who are we gonna learn Pictomancy from then, I wonder?
As I recall, you have embraced versatility to effectively complement a certain someone's style. What I do is much the same. Like you, I don't want to be left behind.
Indeed. I must say, you appear to be especially keen on being involved in the ritual of succession. Is there any particular reason?
The letter?
Yes, there is.
Excuse me.
This letter from Tuli Yolal.
There it is. This is what Pictomancy is from the Tural. Let me teach you. I feel... Given what Kryl just said, I would be very surprised if we didn't learn it from someone from Charlie, and maybe even Kryl herself. Who knows? But I think it'd be weird to establish that that's a Tural... that's a Charlian thing, and then have it not be. Besides, like, the trainer starts in Gridania. That's probably not a good indication, though. Yeah, just given what Kryl just said, I would be very surprised if we met someone Tural with that. But not gonna rule it out. I mean, hell, in the fucking Allo, we saw a lot of stuff to do with, like, a lot of arcane magic rooted in the Lullafels that lived in the South Sea, so... And Charlian obviously collects knowledge from all over the place, so, yeah.
It was addressed to my grandfather Galuf, and turned up among the students' archives. The ink was faded, so I couldn't fully make out the sender's name. Galul, someone.
Jaja. Gulul Jaja. That's my father, the Dawn servant. What does the letter say?
While much of it isn't legible, it appears to be a request to investigate the Golden City.
A request to investigate the Golden City? From the Dawn Servant himself?
If I don't get special text from certain NPCs in Terrell by running around as blue, I'll be sad. Those are interchangeable, Ryuzaki.
Well,
In that
well.
context.
Seems it may be more than a rumor after all.
Being a member of the royal family, it was my hope that you could confirm the authenticity of this letter.
I can say for a fact that my father didn't write this.
Huh.
Given how culturally diverse Tuliyollal is, it was decided some time ago that a common language was needed. But instead of elevating an existing tongue and its speakers above all others, we looked to those widely spoken overseas and created an altogether new one. The similarities to your common tongue also make it quite easy to communicate in these situations, no? This letter, however, is entirely in Eorzean. If Father had written this, he would have been in Turali. What's more, it bears a wax seal. We don't bother with them.
Huh. So they made something from an amalgam of languages from the people overseas who had like gathered at Terrell over time, and it bears similarities to Eorzean, but isn't. Huh. That's interesting. I'm gonna keep that one in my hat for a little bit.
So the letter is fraudulent, then?
Oh, I didn't mean to say that. My father's signature is genuine, as far as I can tell, so perhaps he simply dictated it.
Meant to be delivered to someone in Eorzea. Someone in Eorzea probably... Someone in Terral probably spoke Eorzean, given how... at least so far it's been described a lot as, like, many people's gathering there. So, you know, someone from Eorzea who's fluent in it wouldn't be surprising. And then someone just flourished it up afterward? That seems...
I see. Oh, thank you for the confirmation. It seems my grandfather indeed had dealings with Tuliyollal. I can't help but be curious as to what exactly he was doing there. In order to help us decide on a course of action, would you mind if I asked you some questions about your home?
By all means. After all, learning about one another was the purpose of this hunt. We can talk while feasting on this fellow. I, for one, am starving.
We're eating that.
Yeah? Why not? Ah, what an exciting hunt that was. And now it's time to savor the reward. I understand Kryle's feelings all too well. Desire to do one's part. It'd be daunting to try and keep up. Nothing will change unless we take the first step. Thanks to Wuklamat, and we now know who sent the letter to Grandfather, among other things. But many questions still remain. With the wildlife pacified and the researchers safe, our task is complete. That just leaves the matter of the colibri meat. For better or for worse, there's really only one place we can take it here in Sharlayan. The last stand. Oh god. Come, let us see what Dickon can cook up for us. Okay, so... do I want to leave that until the Dawn Trail speculation? I might leave that for the Dawn Trail speculation. Because I don't want to be like, okay, hang on, let me break out the theories literally during the MSQ. Can leave that for afterward. I want to give anyone a chance to leave if they don't want to, like, hear speculation on that part. Hey, buddy. Well now, there's a famished face if I've ever seen one. What can I get you, Aldine? Do you cook colibri? Oh, bird meat from the hunt, you say? Leave it to me. I have just the recipe. It's a new dish I recently learned from some sailors, and for you lot, it's on the house. Have as much as you like, yeah? Don't let Wuklamat hear you say that.
Come, come. Let's enjoy the bounty of our first outing together.
Dual hand it.
I'd heard that Sharlayan cuisine was terrible, but this is fantastic.
Well, you can thank Dickon for that.
What is this? Oh, it smells spicy.
Oh, come now. Since when did you become so soft? It's not like we don't have spicy food in Tural, too.
It's like a whole tomahawk of steak. Yeah, true. Oh, no!
According to Dickon, intensely hot dishes have become popular in Razadhan after a traveller ordered a curry with several times the usual amount of spice.
I think I need to go. Do I need to go? I think I need to go. No, I'm not talking about it. Definitely didn't have a hand in that.
So he started offering the same in order to please the growing Harnish population here in Sharlayan.
Oh no. Dawning realization.
It's nothing I can't handle.
10 out of 10. Stop. I'm sold. We don't need to go on anymore. That's it.
Your boorish manners reflect poorly on the both of us. I wish you would consider your station.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean, Erenville?
I swear, sometimes it feels like you open your mouth only to criticize.
Oh, these two have a history. It's like
Would I
they're...
be correct in assuming you've known each other for a long time?
Thank you, Graha.
Aye, thick as thieves since we were little.
I beg to differ. She is a long-standing acquaintance. Nothing more.
Oh, he's embarrassed. Oh my god, this is adorable.
I see. I see.
Yeah, it's almost like they're siblings or something.
All this time you were from Tural. Oh, would that I had known sooner. There's so much I'd like to ask.
You and everyone else. I've kept it quiet so as to avoid the endless interrogations.
Yeah, that's fair. I would imagine everyone in Charlian would be annoying as fuck about learning about the new world.
Well, if he's going to be a miser, I'll be happy to tell you about our homeland instead.
Suddenly we hear the rumbling of 10,000 students from the studium.
Since ancient times, many peoples have called Tural home, and they've been fighting each other for nearly as long. The fighting finally stopped some 80 years ago, when the reigning Dawn Servant unified the disparate communities and founded a new nation.
And that's how Tuliolal came to be.
Since then, we've enjoyed an era of uninterrupted peace. But my father is getting old, and he wishes to relinquish the throne to a worthy successor. One who can preserve his legacy. Including myself, there are 4 claimants to the throne. But while we all have the right to participate, one among us cannot be allowed to rule.
A man who is too ambitious by half. Word of the Garlean Empire's collapse has reached Tural. While most are simply relieved, he sees weakness to exploit and would lead our armies across the seas on a campaign of conquest.
After everything my father has done to give us peace, he would drag us back into war. I can't allow it. No matter what, I must win this contest.
Wait, but that would leave a... So there's 4 that can win, 1 that absolutely must not let... must not be allowed to. And... that leaves 2 others.
I understand your reasons. But this being an event that will dictate the course of your nation's future, is it appropriate for outsiders like us to be involved?
That's a very good point, Graha.
Oh, it's more than appropriate. The Dawn Servant himself expressly encourages it.
Huh. I suppose being generous, if someone were capable of calling from friends abroad to secure their position on the throne, that would be a show of both solidarity and strength, being able to work with people outside of just Tuliolol, on Tural in general, and also, like, yeah, like the leadership and the, not social skills, what the fuck is the word I'm looking for? Not even negotiations. The word is escaping me right now, but I can definitely see that argument, but I feel like that opens a really big opening for, like, a lot of, like, outsiders to conspire about getting the throne and potentially influence the person on it. And also, Okay, hold on, let me hear the rest of this.
The ruler of Tural must navigate the intricacies of myriad cultures, and there's no better way to prove oneself qualified to do so than to work with foreign allies.
I suppose I should be also reminding myself that, like, in a situation like this, it's kind of different from, like, a more modern perspective, or sorry, a more modern situation where we're all a lot more connected. People who are able to actually bring someone from foreign lands to Tural must have some pretty good connections to those places, given the isolation and the lack of, like, a lot of immediate transport and things like that. Like, it's a lot harder to get to the New World than it is for someone like me to just hop on a plane and get to Canada or something like that, right?
That's why I sought you out. Through our hunt, I've confirmed that you're a warrior of considerable skill, but more importantly, one of good character as well. And so I ask you, will you lend me your strength and help me win the throne of Tulihualal? You don't need to decide right this moment, but I will need you if I'm to triumph over the competition. I'll stay here as long as I can while waiting for your answer.
In that case, allow us to prepare a room for you at the Baldessian Annex.
That's very kind of you. Oh, and one more thing. Once we finish eating, would you mind if I took the rest of the meat?
I love her. I love her. Okay, so it's being framed as, like, yeah, and that probably makes sense. Like, if Gulu Jaja, if his, like, notable thing is that he has unified the people of Tural when they were otherwise fighting, he would probably want to leave his throne to someone who, A, is of a similar mindset, B, is actually capable of, like Wook said, what was it? Navigating the differences of myriad cultures or something to that effect? To not only secure that, like, Tural stays as one, or, like, as a unified people, but to potentially look to also have relationships overseas, because especially if, you know, it seems like, because the Garlean Empire's out of the picture, there might be actually more opportunity for people to kind of, like, interconnect across nations and that. So I definitely see that. I definitely see that angle to it. It's just like... And the game isn't examining it yet. And I'd be interested to see if Dawn Trail actually does, but this definitely has the potential to... Yeah, but I guess, like, opening up communications with others, I guess it depends on how you view it, because on one hand, some people could view it as a weakness to exploit, others could see it as an opportunity to grow, and that's probably the reason he's leaning toward, or would like to see someone be able to do that. But at the same time, like... Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I need to turn that over in my head a little bit. Judging by Wooklamat's reaction, it appears Turali cuisine isn't excessively fiery. You could say that. Whether Wooklamat has the makings of a ruler, I couldn't say. But I do know that she cares deeply for her nation and her people. Whether you choose to help her, though, is for you and you alone to decide. Think on it well. Now then, it's past time I reported our mission success to the guild ship. I would have done so sooner, except Her Highness needed to have her royal meal. I shall come by the annex later. Till then. Oh, is there... Baba Ganoush. Fuck. Wait, is that actually how that's spelt? No, don't look that up. I always thought that was one word. There's so many puns in the English version of this game that, like, I see something that sounds the same that I haven't actually seen spelt before, and I immediately think, pun. It's not great. Coming Dawn. Graha Tia is mulling over what you have learned of Wuklamat and her plan. Well, I dare say we now have a fair grasp of Wuklamat's situation. Still, you've been afforded time to consider her invitation. Why not use it to learn more about Tural? Numenon is bound to have some information on the continent. It certainly wouldn't help to be better informed. Just sort of burying myself in books is making me feel sleepy. No, Aldine would not say that. Quite right. Not only would it help you to make an informed decision, and but if you do choose to go, you would be better prepared for what awaits. Come, my friend. Let us be off to the archives. Ooh, do we get to go into the Forbidden Ones again? That'd be cool. Probably not, though. Let's be honest. Oh, fuck yeah, we get to read books again. I always appreciate these because they always put in gags. And it's like my favorite fucking part, where it's just like, yeah, you're looking for information. Oh, look, Forever 23. Huh, that's odd. That sounds like the attitude of someone in your party. Left side first. Blue-covered book. Oh! Principles of Blue Magic and Spell Acquisition. The origins of blue magic can be traced back to the esoteric practices of the Wallaki. That's probably not pronounced like that. Yeah, let's do a quick sneaky Wallaki. Trying to look for like a wiki thing that might have some like this could be also just a 14 bespoke thing, so like who the fuck knows. Because realistically I'd be looking for, oh, here's some trivia. Actually, this is inspired by this thing. But yeah, it looks like it's deeply rooted in Blue Mage, and not much else from what I can Google. Tribe of Hyur. Because my knee-jerk thought would be Native American, potentially. Just given Tural and its place, but, like, yeah, no fucking clue. Maybe a bit more research will yield something, but that'll have to wait for another time. The tribe holds nature in the highest, and in seeking to cultivate a spiritual connection with it, they have learned to harness the power of the wildlife around them. In exchange for teaching them the common tongue, I was permitted to live among them and train in their ways. Those days were some of the most grueling I remember, but they were tremendously rewarding. For instance, I had the privilege of visiting Lapis Canyon, the tribe's sacred grounds. It is so named for the cerulean deposit that wells up to the surface, turning the entire canyon a brilliant blue. Under a shaman's watchful eye, I find a shaman. Okay, so we're kind of invoking like a native beasts. Well, I guess, yeah, shaman's not. Oh, I could go on about that for hours, but that would require me also looking up Oh, fuck it. Hang on. Hang on. I gotta remind myself of something. Person regarded as having to... some peoples of Northern Asia, Northern America, typically such people... Oh, maybe that does actually. Yeah, because I was thinking North Asian more than... Yeah, like Siberia kind of thing. What's this got to do with America, though? Yeah, sometimes it's hard to know. Well, no, there's like barely any criticism of the term. Yeah, because it's kind of... Yeah, that was the thing I was thinking, because the term is often used in a very reductive and often racist way. So my immediate thought was, okay, we're connecting shaman, probably a term used by this Sharlayan specifically. But we're associating that with the North Americas, but I was pretty sure that was more like, yeah, Northern Asia. But... that's something I'll probably, that's like a whole body of research I should probably do before Dawn Trail to kind of, get a bit more around it. I should probably also do the Blue Mage quests. Do I want to do that before White Mage? I don't know, there's 5 months before Dawn Trail launches, so 5 or 6. I'm sure I'll have time, but yeah. I finally managed to master the Wallachi's, art and make the animal's powers my own. As no name existed for it in the common tongue, I took the liberty of naming it Blue Magic. Oh yeah, this feels very... Huh. Okay, that's interesting. What was it in their tongue, I wonder? The reason I chose this color, as you all have doubtless gleaned, is from the significance it holds to Wallaki. I cannot think of a name more fitting to honor the people from whom this noble magic was born. Yeah, I don't know, how about translating the word they actually use for it? Bro? Hello? Yeah, there wasn't a name for it in Eosian, so I just called it Blue. Oh. Okay, you... clearly you... were you even able to communicate with these people? Is that a thing that happened, or... Leather-bound book. Let us begin by comparing the geographical characteristics of the 3 great continents and Tyrell. The former stretches from east to west and lies entirely within the northern hemisphere. In contrast, the latter extends to the far reaches of northern and southern hemispheres, and a difference immediately presents itself in the form of climate variance. Shifts in climate tend to be gentler when moving east to west, but harsher when moving north and south. Owing to this fact, longitudinal migration is far more common in history, whether it be by men, animals, or plants. A case in point is the Allegans, who rose to power in Aldenard before advancing east into Ilsabard. Their movement would be mirrored thousands of years later by the Garleans. Meanwhile, although the disparate tribes of Tyrell waged war with one another for generations, stymied by the climate, none could make any greater headway north or south. Tribes hailing from from frozen lands withered beneath the desert sun, while those that thrived in open plains could not pierce dense jungle. Such was the way of it until the leader of the Mamulja succeeded in bringing the continent under one banner. Given the land's divided history and the reason thereof, one cannot help but be in awe of this feat. Truly, it is a testament to the Autarch's greatness. Wait, I know that word from somewhere. Autarch. Oh, wait a minute. Isn't that... That's the fucking... Yeah... Huh. That's an interesting term for their leader. I suppose not an accurate one, depending on your perspective, but... I think of Autarch, and I think of, Warhammer, and kind of, the really, iron-fisted leaders, but it could be a little bit more magnanimous than that. Or it doesn't need... doesn't need to be so missing magnanimity at the end of the day, but the flora and fauna of Tural. Every land has given rise to unique wildlife, and the continent of Tural is no exception. Yet, while some of her creatures have become a familiar sight in Eorzea, many or more exist that are rarely seen this side of the Indigo Deep. This tome introduces a select variety of species, as described in the testimonies of sailors and adventurers. Alpaca. Accustomed to Tural's craggy mountain ranges, this four-legged beastkin has been domesticated for seemingly hundreds, if not thousands of years. Their soft white fleece is highly prized by weavers, while their strong legs and sure-footedness make them capable beasts of burden. Wivrea. This ferocious scalekin is native to the dense jungles of Tural. The Mamulja have succeeded in taming them and utilized their prodigious strength for manual labor. Given their immense size and power, it should come as no surprise that the Wivre is also employed as a siege beast. Enemy fortifications cannot long withstand this horned brute's rampage. Shot in the dark. Wait, is there a mount of that already? Oh yeah, huh. Oh, that's interesting. Like, they're kind of cross between, like, a bit of a rhino-ish look with, like, the tail of a dinosaur. One of those ones that has, like, the mace for a tail, almost. Valagamanda. Turali folklore holds that this bird-like creature is the mightiest of beasts and the very embodiment of nature's power. Whether it exists beyond myth, however, is uncertain. Oh. I thought we were going to get another page on that one. Eorzean cuisine history. It is impossible to adequately discuss Eorzean cuisine without speaking of that land from which many of our modern-day staples hailed, the far western continent of Tural. Ah! Ogre pumpkins, ruby tomatoes, even the ubiquitous popoto. These crops and more that regularly grace Eorzean dining tables trace their origins to the New World, as the place is known to most. The tale of this culinary immigration begins in the year 1498 of the 6th Astral Era, when a Leminsan sailor named Ketenram successfully traversed the Indigo Deep to arrive at the theretofore unknown continent. Ketenram spent several moons exploring inland, in the course of which he encountered the denizens of the sprawling nation of Mamulja. He was even granted an audience with their supreme leader, whose confidence he won along with permission to roam freely. Ketenram would return to Tural several times, but during his first expedition, he charted the land and gathered myriad root vegetables and seeds to bring back to Limsa Leminsa. The most notable of these was the popoto, whose ease of cultivation and nutritional value saw it quickly spread to all corners of Eorzea. Produce was far from the only bounty of Ketenram's expeditions to Tural. Many tantalizing recipes, such as the bean-filled burrito, and gripping legends, such as that of the Golden City, reached our shores by way of his ship. To those outside Ketenram's circle, Tural largely remains shrouded in mystery. Yet its influence on our cuisine cannot be overstated. Many scholars, myself included, would relish the chance to immerse themselves in the culinary culture of that faraway continent. Having perused a wide selection of books relating to Tural, you are somewhat better informed about your potential destination. Rahatia will be eager to know what you have discovered. Should you wish to read these books again, speak with the reference page. Oh, really? Oh my god. Huh. I didn't know this was here. I wonder if that adds everything you've read, because some of Secrets of Healthy Living, Establishment of Laws of the Heaven, they all look like relevant to, well, Aloy. Maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm pretty sure there were 6 in that one thing where we... Hang on. Secrets of Healthy Living. Is this Forever 23? Oh, Forever 20 Summers. That's the one. Yeah, okay. I didn't know they kept these here. That's really cool. I appreciate they kept those around for you to revisit. Because you could miss out on one of those and just not get there, not read it forever, like in the restricted section. Which I guess makes a bit more sense in canon, but sucks all the more. Scoured the library to your satisfaction, have you? Excellent. While there are a few books wholly dedicated to the subject of Tural, I dare say you found tidbits of useful information scattered here and there. Yeah, fair bit. But come, let's continue this outside. The members do not take kindly to chatter. Oh, yeah, right. Fair enough. Now then, I'm quite keen to hear your honest impressions. I couldn't help but notice that we read the very same book on cuisine. I was pleasantly surprised to find references to Tural within. Among them, did anything in particular pique your interest? I was rather taken with the tale of Ketenram Papodos. I have a newfound appreciation for them. The legendary city of gold came up. I suspected any mention of the City of Gold would catch your eye. It is truly a mystery among mysteries. Here is a city whose location is unknown, that no one has ever seen, and yet whispers of its existence continue to persist. Countless souls have set off in search of it, never to return. I can't imagine it being a suitable challenge for the ritual of succession. But moving on, did you perchance learn aught of the fauna of Tural? Given your adventuring background, I expect the topic would interest you. What about Valagamanda? Now, why do I get the impression you're imagining pitting your skills against the fell beast? Unfortunately, I found scant details on your would-be prey. One source simply described it as an enormous winged creature with scales hard as steel that rules the sky. I'd like to see it with my own eyes, presuming it even exists. I thought I heard familiar voices. Oh. Hey. Hi. Fancy running into you two here. Well, well. Have some research of your own, do you? Aye, we hope to arm ourselves with knowledge that may benefit the Garlean people. Having forged a new trade agreement with Radzat-Han, they next look to foster relations with other nations. This includes former imperial provinces. In view of this, we might hope to find hints in history on how neighbors of differing races and ideologies might engage with one another. Ah. And what of you two? What endeavors brings you here this day? Well, Tural would be of extra interest there, because they have specifically done that. A nation composed of disparate peoples of Tural. I dare say this is precisely the kind of example we seek. We do well to read up on Tuliol ourselves. The contest. Is Aldine the only one allowed to help Wuklamat? There was no mention of such restrictions, as I recall. On the contrary, Wuklamat gave us the impression that she could have several champions. I think I know how to make the most of our respite. Follow me, Alphino. We have planning to do. Alize, wait! See, my plans have changed. If you'll excuse me. never could rest on their laurels. Come, let us return to the annex. I didn't get to tell you about blue magic, though. Motherfucker literally said he didn't know what the word for the magic was in the other tongue, so he just made one up. Some fucking... Oh, wait, no, that story's fake, isn't it? I was about to say that's some kangaroo shit, but that's not, That's, incorrect. Basically, like, I don't know if it spread because of Arrival, or if, like, people, picked it up, or, like, picked it up from elsewhere and it was referenced by it. But there's a little thing there where they're talking about, interestingly enough, communication across languages, and told a story about settlers stepping onto Australia for the first time, talking to the indigenous people, and they asked what that animal over there is, and they said kangaroo, but kangaroo actually meant I don't know what you're saying. Which, yeah, not correct as it turns out.
Oh, it's just... Despite all that we've learned, I can't help but feel we've yet to hear the whole story. What about you, my friend? Are you inclined to accept or refuse Worklamat's request?
Oh, that's a good question. God, I'm honestly torn. Because on one hand, the adventure would be nice, but going there specifically as Wiklamat's champions kind of... I mean, if the person of that nation has kind of said, like, yeah, no, we do welcome that, like, it would be kind of presumptuous to hear, like... It would be presumptuous to hear this person, or this, like, leader of a nation be like, no, 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 we welcome you, and say, like, no, I shouldn't, it's not right, or politics, or whatever. But obviously, this being a thing written by people instead of, like, people actually saying that to me is obviously a different thing. And then, like, I'm thinking, okay, where would, like, the party fall along these lines? I feel like Aldine would probably be too eager for the adventure, honestly, to, like, apprehensive, but, like, nah, if that gets me to the new world and I get to discover more shit, that'd be me. I feel like I feel like Bevern would be torn. Will would be against it. Ray would probably be torn as well, honestly. Yeah. No, Al would be down for the new adventure.
Ha! I thought you might say that.
I'm interested to see what the...
With an intrepid attitude such as yours, I believe all shall be well.
I'm really interested to see what they say along the other paths.
Be it the contest or something else, there will be many trials for you to overcome at your destination. But in the course of seeing new lands and meeting new people, you'll surely find a way forward. That's what adventurers do, is it not? Such a journey would be the envy of many a scholar. Distant as it is, Tural remains largely unknown to us, with only meager records to be found in Numenon. The experiences to be had, all the things you might hear, feel, and think. It's enough to stir me to the core.
Of course, they'd invoke that there. Up
Life
on a bridge,
is a
looking
series
over
of
these
journeys,
things.
my friend. And there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another. Ah, but there's an idea. I have a matter to attend to at the Agora. Please, go on inside. I will join you shortly.
God damn it. I do appreciate sometimes how, like, characters will just say, oh yeah, I should go and get something, or, like, an explicit thing you know about done in the meantime. I've said it before, but it does make the world feel a little bit more living, and you're not just, like, the... Hi, Thancred. I'm gonna be completely honest, I am really surprised they did not flash the scene with you talking to Hydaelyn, or talking to Vinar in the Unsundered World there. Very, very surprised. Hi, Ojiko. Welcome back, Eldine. If you're looking for Wook Lamart, she is currently with the others in her chambers. If you like, I could go fetch them for you. Oh, I could go and... Okay. Understood. Please wait in the main hall. Do we have to, though? Could have just gone and seen what they were up to. Jeez. What's this in general? Oh, someone just spamming yell. Or shout? I can't remember the colors for those.
You have the look of someone who's made up their mind. Go on then. Let's hear it.
Never been one to turn down an adventure, I'll do it. I wonder if these selections are different depending on what you actually picked before. That'd be interesting. Never been one to turn down an adventure.
Excellent. You'll be compensated for your troubles, of course. But I dare say your time in Tural will be its own reward.
You're not planning to leave without us, are you?
Yeah, there it is.
Alphano, Alize! What are you two doing here?
It sounded like a relative scolding their younger relatives.
We happened to cross paths
God
at
damn.
Numenon earlier, you see, and I told them about Woklamat.
The Scions owed me 10 years of back pay. God.
And when we fortuitously met again at the Agora just now, they expressed an interest in meeting our visitor.
You're so small, though.
You must be the twins
Oh.
who are sneaking after Erenville as toads.
100 things about us you could have told her, and you chose that.
Yes, one time they poorly imitated toads. Fucking amateurs.
First impressions last.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, that was a fucking pout. Amazing.
'Tis an honor and a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Your Highness. Alphano Leveilleur at your service, And this is my sister, Alize.
Oh no, let's not do that. I really can't stand titles.
Yeah, that tracks.
So, you want to participate in the contest too, is that right?
Indeed we do. We've been assisting with the rebuilding effort in Garlemald. Yet while progress is being made, the question remains of how the nation might reconcile with its neighbors. We believe there is much we might learn from Tuliolal, a nation founded on unity. And in return for this honor, we would spare no effort in supporting your claim.
The more the merrier, I say. And I'd be keen to learn about Eorzea and Garlemald from you as well.
Having recruited so many committed and capable allies, I presume you have no need for my continued assistance?
Something tells me no.
Nonsense! Like I told you before, you're indispensable. They're strong, aye, but strangers to our land. They need someone to guide them, to point out the dangers, and spare them grisly deaths.
I'm glad he's coming along.
I can't think of anyone better suited to that task than you. What's more, despite your assertions, I know you haven't given up on the City of Gold.
Cryo?
As I recall, Kryl, you were the first to state your desire to visit Tural.
Perhaps I was.
But...
Still, I can't help but worry about being away just when our order is beginning to find its feet again.
Of course.
You have nothing to worry about. I haven't forgotten how you held the fort while I set off to explore Alzadal's legacy. It's only fair that I return the favor. Pray, leave the students to Ojika and me.
Oh my god, he's not coming with us?
But, Raha...
Bro, no. Come on. Oh, like you don't
You want
know.
to retrace your grandfather's steps, don't you? This is a rare opportunity, and I insist that you seize it.
Thank you, Raha.
That is very sweet of
Thank
him,
you.
but God damn it. Fucking, oh yeah, here's an even greater adventure we're going on, Raha, and you're staying behind. Fuck.
Well, looks like it's settled. I'm counting on you all to help me win the throne.
Oh, okay, actually, hang on. Legitimately, though, I do think that you can absolutely crowd the scene with too many characters on this journey, and half of the reason I bet they're splitting up the Scions is because it's easier to write for a couple, like a few characters in a space than all of those characters in a space. It's another reason why dismissing characters, while you still have to kind of track what they're doing off-screen, you don't have to write dialogue for all of them. And having too many people not interacting with it becomes weird. It makes sense, I'm really sad that it's Graha. God damn it. You can leave Thancred.
I suppose now is a good time to show you what I spent a small fortune on at the Agora.
Oh no. Like, what's a small fortune, and do I need to tell Tataru?
There. This,
Oh, the
my
expanded
friends,
map.
is the latest map of the world, created to celebrate our friendship with the Loperids. Cast your eyes west of Sharlayan. There it lies.
Oh my god! That's so funny. That is so fucking funny, because they can now legit justify the clouds being over Garlemald, like, hey, why can't we see what's in Garlemald? Too many clouds there. We couldn't really make out what was underneath. That's fucking hilarious. I love it.
The site of your next great adventure. Tural.
Did they see the dragons there too? Oh my... I've seen this exact fucking pose on Twitter too. This makes a lot of sense now. I'll stay here and hold down the fort. 2 hours into the story, I'm on my way. Oh yeah, no. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes along at some point during the story, because I imagine things might get a little dire, and either he needs to be a communication point with Charlian, or he ends up opting to come along. You're in the large map, how do we pull it off? No, don't worry about it. It's a larger small map. Oh, that's too pixelated, guys. Oh, is that going to be credits? Yeah, that is going to be... Oh, man. I did turn it up because I was going to let the music go a little bit longer, but... Man, also good art. I've seen a couple of these floating around too. Oh, actually, voice cast. I'm curious if I recognize names for. I think there was some discussion going along about the gods and stuff like that. So, actually, let me turn this back down for stream so I can at least like talk over a bit. Man. Obviously, it feels a bit different being along for this expansion for the entire time it's been here. But yeah, I still think this is the best expansion. Yep. I knew, Nigel Pilkington. Why do I know that name? Oh yeah, Aaronville's voice actor is going to be called Dan Cole. Trying to see if I remember. I don't remember the main cast's voice actors' names. I probably should have actually looked in there. I'll have to look through someone else's comment on these. I don't think I'm gonna see anything worth the shit. Or like, I don't think I'm gonna see anything that's gonna click for me because I still don't quite know everyone's names. Like, so Endwalker 6.0 fucking peak fiction. I don't think. Like, obviously people still have taste, but I feel like everyone agrees that, like, the story-wise, Endwalker 6.0 is fucking untouchable. There's a Reddit gallery for who gods shared VAs, and I'm gonna look at that then, because, yeah, I'm not... Because I know there are a few that I know I picked, there are a few I know I got wrong. Wait, no, yeah, you stole a voice Nofika, I'm pretty sure that's right. Thaliak, I was surprised. I thought that was Hien's voice actor, but I don't think James Day voices him, so... right. Yeah. 6.0, fucking untouchable. Absolute goddamn achievement of video game writing. Couldn't have done it in anything else other than an MMO. I literally cannot speak its praises enough. It's fucking incredible. I still really enjoy the patches. I'm still kind of sour that Zero... Oh my god, they actually included Xenos in here. Well, I guess it is the Endwalker credits, so, like, kind of hard not to. Yeah, like... I really enjoyed the patch story. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as 6.0. But, like, there's a lot of discussion around, like, setting expectations and people still not enjoying it, and people setting expectations. It's going to be Endwalker, but more, and then not being met with that, and yeah. I do want to note, though, I think throughout the patches, it's very clear someone else is writing it, and also, even down to, like, structuring scenes, I feel like there's a very distinct difference in the character of a lot of the shots. Like, in places, there's a lot more lingering on a static shot before we move away from another. So you could see it a little bit in some of the scenes we had earlier, where it'll cut to Graha, and he'll do a nod or a reaction. And then it'll cut to the Warrior of Light, and he'll do a nod or reaction. And that felt like... it felt stretched more than it would have been in the 6.0 MSQ. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but, like, it felt consistently longer, which isn't, I don't think is a good thing. Ideally, it's tailored to each scenario, but it felt like it held, like beats too long either side, in almost all situations. You can also tell a lot of the animation is either improving or they're using subtler things, which I think just speaks to probably, like, getting some stuff out of early engine improvements and whatnot that... I don't know how much of the engine would actually affect that, but it wouldn't surprise me if, like, you know, they continue to improve all of the animations you can get on the characters. I mean, they've got Hildebrand back. They've got the cauldron for cooking up new character animations and that. So yeah, like, just like from foundation. Like, there's just foundational things about the writing of the patches that does feel different. I still like it a lot. It's not to say, like, different's bad. People are gonna miss Ishikawa doing the writing of the MSQ, as opposed to, like, kind of being... I think in the credits it said senior designer, or senior narrative designer. Which is obviously a different position than literally writing things. Or literally writing the entirety of the MSQ. I'm still a little bitter that we lost Zero's, like, patch design in patch 6.4. In patch 6.5. I'm gonna miss that hat a lot. But then, like, seeing other people draw Zero as a paladin, like, yeah, okay, I get it, but the Dark Reaper with the hat is just, that's my shit all over, and I kind of wish he was still around. Yeah, post a link, Ryuzaki, I might have a look at it later. Hang on. Let me permit you first. The only thing that I think the only critique I give the patches is I just feel like the pacing was off. Pacing is like a fragile thing, and speeding up and slowing down in pacing affects different people differently, in my opinion. If the pace slows down to, like, explain things and stuff like that, I'm never gonna say no to that. I love that shit. And in fact, it's something I really appreciate about 14. It does slow down and take its time kind of building things. Sometimes to its detriment for other people, but, like, I'm always there for, like, okay, I'll just wait until this pays off. I'll wait however long it takes. Now, granted, that's not infinite, but I don't think this game has ever really broken it when it's going slower. What I will say is there is a particular section of the patches in Endwalker that the thing in question just resolves way too quickly. And it's everything to do in Garlemald. Everything to do with Garlemald in 6.4, I want to say? Basically, the whole idea is that Garlemald is, like, starting to recover. They were beset by Void Scent at that one point before we faced off with Rubicante, they're obviously still struggling to defend themselves. And they're trying to find their feet and keep together what remains of their nation, or their people, right? And whilst obviously still very prejudiced against people, I think the attitudes towards wanting to be like, no, stop, look, listen, we appreciate the help, but, like, we've got to sort this out, okay? This is our problem. I think is something that should be tackled with some tact. Because especially with things falling apart as they have, there is a lot to kind of unpack with that. What part of that is prejudice? What part of that is protecting their people in, like, a legitimate, in a non sort of, like, still calling the Eorzean savage kind of way, right? There's a lot to unpack and a lot to let breathe. And I feel like 6.4 made the mistake of trying to brush over that too quickly. Granted, all they're really doing in 6.4 is taking the first step in getting aid from people that aren't the Eorzean contingent? I forget the name of, that thing. But, like, really what they're debating, what they end up trying to debate is at what, like, where should we seek aid? How much should we seek aid? What should we try and should we try and trade with people? What do we try and trade with people? There's a lot of questions there, specifically with respect to all they have left, because realistically, all they have left are cultural artifacts of their society. And a lot of them happen to be Magitech, and, like, the key things are Magitech and Ceruleum, right? If they can still dig up Ceruleum, and if they can still use their Magitech, that's it, right? And one of the people in this conversation ends up being like, no, we're, like, Magitech is the only thing we have left. If we go and, like, help people with that, like, there's gonna be nothing left for us. And we're not in a position to be able to ensure we receive good recompense from that, specifically because of the kind of shit situation we're in. And the way that's resolved is just really bad. Like, what? The guy runs off after an argument with the one guy that saw some appeal, in dealing with Razat Han and forging a relationship with them. He runs off, gets assaulted by Magitech, and then we save him, and he's like, oh, I'm still not helping you. And then Euless speaks to this guy for a minute or two, and manages to, like, get him on the side of that other person. And, like, I'm sorry, but, like, after Quintus, you're not gonna convince me that it breaks down that easily. And even though it led to, I think, a really great moment here, with, like, and all of this is in service to kind of Zero seeing people who are usually friendly with each other help each other, people who aren't usually friendly with each other help each other, people who are usually friendly with each other kind of fight, and people who are unfriendly with each other actually fighting, right? Also, a shattered people kind of arguing amongst themselves about the right thing to do. Like, it's just not... I get what they're trying to do building up with Zero. That particular point is, like, that needed, like, a couple of patches to resolve, in my opinion. Like, we get to Garlemald the first time, and the Void Scent thing happens, and everyone's saved, but that particular beat comes up earlier, and then Euless has the conversation with that guy, and it doesn't convince him, but you see a crack. You see did they just put "and the entire QA staff" and not list them? Oh, that sucks. Oh, unless it's not, like, part of CBU 3. Whenever I see something like that, I think, hang on, you're not crediting the people that actually did work on this, but I don't know the situation, and I didn't pay attention right here. still, when they're like, no, you can't use the tower to stop the Void Send. Cool, you deal with them then. But no. Ryuzaki, you're being reductive. You're talking about letting the foreign nationals that have basically taken over support of the country, taking over the last their last usable artifact of their nation, distorted and warped though it might be. Like, it makes sense that those people are sensitive about that. Their whole country fell apart around them. Like, I'm sorry. I don't care if you think that I don't care if you think that means that it should be easily resolved because, oh yeah, there's a threat outside. Just go traipse in the only thing we have left of our old nation. Like, no, that's not how that works. First of all, the people aren't gonna be the people aren't going to be accepting of that to begin with, but that's a good thing, because what this game, I feel, does well when it takes its time with moments like that, is it can dig into it to a degree not other games actually do. And this was one of those times that they resolved that way too fucking quickly. They should not have been able to get us to agree to that until, like, they actually had an agreement with Radzatan. That should have taken, honestly, like, more of the patches. I don't care how frustrating that sounds, honestly. The fact that, like, the Garleans were broken people, and we give all this reverence and, like, show very clearly that a lot of them are brainwashed, been listening to propaganda all their lives, and stubborn about Eorzean interference, is not just gonna go immediately. Like, you have the shades there, but I don't think it makes sense, especially from a writing perspective, not to present the situation in which they still have resistance, because that can give you good opportunities to explore really intricate and nuanced situations and actually write meaningful conclusions to those things that might say something about, like, similar situations. Sorry, Rizaki, I hate to, like, blow up on that specifically, but that particular take just fucking grinds my gears. Because if it was anyone else, no one would say shit. Right? Like, sorry, let me rephrase that. I feel like in other situations, people wouldn't be having that reaction to them, but I feel like because it's the Garleans, they do. And I think that's really shallow, considering the insight we got into Garlemald, that I do think could only have happened with Garlemald being broken. And it's a real shame that we see it collapsing and finally just, like, gone. And we're there for it, and we see the fallout of that. For the upturn, when they're trying to build things back up, that we just kind of hand-waved a bit of it. Yeah. I'm not a fan. Also, Ryuzaki, I think you might be misremembering that, because we wanted to use the tower after the Void Sent. That wasn't the same situation. Unless you're talking about, like, Void Sent invasion. But at the same time, like, those people are, like, at their wits' end, and, like, basically, like, Alize, Alphino, and whoever other Eorzeans are there at the moment. Like, they're at the mercy of them, because they don't have any ways to provide for themselves. Like, I don't know. I don't like the idea of just brushing past that, and that's why that patch in particular bothered me. I don't think I brought it up too much at the time. It was really on reflection and thinking about the space of, like, writing time that actually happened that it started to bother me even more. But, yeah. Other than that, I really like the patches. I think the whole thing with Golbez especially, even though it led up to some of the cheesiest shit I've seen in 14 in a long time, I think the whole thing with Golbez actually resolved kind of well. Like, the particular thing that was, like, the sticking point between Zero and Golbez's views was literally kind of the power of friendship. Because Golbez and Durante at one point were on one side of the cooperation thing, and Zero was on... or one side of the cooperation thing, and Zero was on the other. And they've switched places because of their experiences thereafter. And showing Golbez... or showing Durante, I guess, to distinguish between them, the fact that he is kind of going against the thing that Golbez spent his life dedicated to, and I would argue gave his life for, and pointing out that there is still hope, so long as we actually band together, there isn't anything we cannot possibly change. The only way things do not change is if we just let them not change. Or the only way they're guaranteed not to change is if we don't attempt to. I think that was resolved really well, even if I kind of wish Zero was kind of a Light Reaper instead of a Paladin. Yeah, but that's just like an aesthetic thing at the end of the day. Yeah. I'm still, yeah, I couldn't be happier, honestly. Oh, that's cute. And yeah, the patches in general were kind of a, bit of a holding pattern, and they did have, like, a decent arc, I think, but it definitely felt like here's a small story before we start up again. And I know sometimes the vibes of that, coming off of the high of Endwalker, or just the subject matter in terms of, like, the Void and some of the stuff they did there. There's probably more things I could dig into if I knew more about 14 in general. Aww. Also, the state they left Ejdiah in, I know I feel like I saw a few things about people being annoyed at that. And I don't disagree, actually. I feel like giving Ejdiah an eye, at the very least, should have probably restored her, like, partially, and not just made her, like, babby, but... yeah. God, what else? Yeah, no, overall, I really like the patches. I feel like I'm intrigued to see where the Void storyline goes, especially because it seems to be interconnecting with the first. Which, yeah. Also, no, actually, no. Gaia in MSQ. 10 out of 10, best series of patches ever. Sorry. Forget all the shit I complained about 6.4. Gaia MSQ canon doesn't need any more. Also, it introduces to Wuklamart, so, like... who can say if the patches were bad? Yeah. Which I guess brings us to Dawn Trail. Again, I'm of the opinion that they should be trying to do Endwalker 2. So does this mean you're going to be doing through? I have seriously been considering that might be the first ultimate I go hard on. I don't know if I'd necessarily do it like day of and try and, you know, try and prog it then, because, like, there's some expectations surrounding that I need to be sure. Like, and also people, like, I don't know, like, if my raid buddies were around and they were down to do the ultimate, I'd probably do it with them. If not, I'd probably try and find a static, and after a while of getting used to it, I might resort to doing Party Finder, but I kind of want a consistent group for my first one, because I haven't tested myself in them too much. And I feel like having a group I know I can stick with to some degree, and maybe have, like, a consistent schedule, would probably help mitigate some of the potential things that can happen with ultimates. Doesn't guarantee things won't fall apart, but yeah. Anyway, non-battle content stuff. I'm really looking forward to Dawn Trail. I'm hoping that this is the kind of expansion that will start to plant the seeds that won't be seen until later. And which is my kind of expansion again, because, like I said, I don't care how slow the pace is. You pay that off later, and, like, I'm good. I will go along with your bullshit for as long as you do. But the second you indicate to me you're not going to pay it off, like, I'm done. So I'm hoping this expansion is... I mean, this expansion is going to be kind of not as low stakes as it appears, because that's kind of the point. But I think it would be a mistake to try and do Endwalker 2 now, because Endwalker, specifically, I feel like a lot of the reason Endwalker was so successful is particularly because, like, it had a lot of things to draw from. It had, you know, what, 8 years of the game previous. 8 years? Wait, was Endwalker the beginning of the 10th year, or was this just the 10th year? I actually forget. Of A Realm Reborn, and onward, I guess. FF9 references coming. Yeah, well. 2.0 launch was August 2013. Right, so we just hit 10, yeah. So they had, like, what, like 8... Also, hey, wrong way, how's it going? I hope you've been enjoying the ranting. Endwalker had, like, 8 years worth of expansions to draw from, and 8 years worth of world building and character writing and all that stuff to bring it all together into one of my favorite things of all time. And I would prefer they kind of bring it down a bit to have, like, you know, something that definitely does have an arc for the expansion, but is primarily, like, throwing some seeds out for stuff that'll happen in expansion 2, 3 later. Trying to build up, or trying to build these things up again. And I'm interested to see what they do with the Scions as a result of that. I'm curious if they're going to get any more of them to retire, in particular. Because a lot of the reason Endwalker hit was seeing where characters started in ARR and Endwalker. Like, honest to God, one of the best things they did with the end of 6.0 was put characters from, like, outside Sestasha in the Waking Sands that had been with you for that fucking long. And you didn't talk to them for too long, like the rest of the Scions, but I saw them, and I went, holy shit, it's them. I recognize them from all the way in A Realm Reborn. That's the kind of stuff that I feel like really makes Endwalker hit. Because you see how far Alphino has come. You see how far Thancred, Urianger, Alizé, you see how far everyone's come. Y'shtola a little less. She could use some fucking writing. I hope there's more Y'shtola that's actually building her character and not just having her be a plot fixer-upper. Actually, that's my only other complaint about the patches. I feel like we got a little bit of character out of her at the very beginning, but then she just became a plot fixer-upper as the things went on. But yeah, as for Dawntrail specifically, I'm game. I'm really interested to see what they do with just the entire continent. It sounds like we're going to be visiting all of it. Obviously, that doesn't mean they can't expand it or, fill it out in some ways. But we are probably going to be seeing the breadth of it, at the very least. Obviously, like, people going to the New World can definitely open up some political kind of, like, angles that aren't great. The writing seems at least cognizant of that, with, like, Graha asking after that in particular, and Wuklamat explaining that, no, that's actually kind of the point, is to give advantages to people who have been able to interconnect with the other nations, because that could be, suggestions of a very good leader. And despite, the technicalities, that would obviously open up avenues for people to mess with shit. I do think that it's a good sign that the writing is at least cognizant of that. I would be worried if it was just like, no, like, they left it at the brother thing, and not that this was partly Gulul Jaja's actual, like, intent, right? That, outsiders shouldn't actually be here for this contest, and, Wook tries to convince them, but rather, no, that is an explicitly allowed thing, and it's encouraged, because if you can do that, that tells the leader of the country something. So I'm a little bit less worried about that now that I've kind of gone through that, but obviously gonna be keeping an eye on it. Fuck, what else? I feel like there were a couple of things that happened in this that I'm forgetting at the moment. Oh, I remember one of them. So, here's okay, this is going to be entirely, like, I'm talking about everything that's publicly known about Dawntrail now. If for whatever reason you don't want to hear anything regarding that, I appreciate you being around. But, yeah, I'm gonna be speculating about Dawntrail now. So, there's something interesting that was brought up here, regarding text and languages. So, on the Isle of Harm, Wook looks at the letter that Galuf Baldessian received and confirms that it was not written by her father. And the reason she can tell is that it is written entirely in Eorzean. Now, Turali, the language spoken in Tural, is like an amalgam of many people's languages together, and bears some resemblance to Eorzean, but it isn't Eorzean. Why I find that interesting is that we saw in screenshots for Solution 9 people pulling apart the text and building and translating them from the Eorzean typeface to English. And the fact that they could do that with this stuff in mind, they like Esperantoed themselves. Yeah, actually, that's... Oh god, that's actually a really good parallel. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could kind of also argue the same for English, I guess, because English is also a bit of a fucking amalgam. Well, I don't know anything about Esperanto specifically, but, like, English feels a little bit more like a experiment gone wrong. Or English feels like an experiment gone wrong in some ways, because it's unfortunately very temperamental. Regardless, like, there is a suggestion that the text, the alphabet, that's the word I'm looking for. The Eorzean and Turali alphabet are not the same. Whether or not that extends to sounds or anything else is unclear, but clearly, Wook was able to tell that this was written in Eorzean, not Turali. And that makes me suspicious, because if people have been able to pull apart the text in Solution 9, that makes me think it's Eorzean. Which, given the fact that Tural in particular, or Tuliolol, I guess, in particular, has been presented as a coming together of many cultures and peoples, it wouldn't surprise me if Eorzean was there, right? That seems to make sense. But if one of the most technologically advanced things in the entire nation that's specifically using, like, that's specifically, like, built there from, like, an ancient civilization of that, is using the Eorzean language, I'm of two minds about it. Either A, this is, like, some Proto-Allagan or even before them shit, or, and this is assuming it's kind of more a simulation than an actual thing in there, the text is actually adapting to the people in there. So if I can read English, it would present itself as English. If someone can read Eorzean, it would present itself as Eorzean. Yeah, I'm really curious what that's about. I'm surprised they even showed us that. Again, like, I remember the lead up to Endwalker, they showed us a picture of Elpis. We didn't know what the fuck that was, but then we got there and it's like, oh my god, and that's just level 87. Like, we hadn't seen Ultima Thule or anything like that. So the fact that they're showing us this, and they've showed us maybe, what, 2 to 3 dungeons? Which would be level 85? What? What the fuck happens in the second half of this game if Solution 9 isn't, like, an endgame thing? Or, like, you know, final levels thing? Well, actually, I imagine the culmination of the entire story would probably be the contest, right? That would have to be it. But then I'm curious how they're going to resolve that in terms of the battle content, because usually it's dungeon and trial. Although I guess, like, they could do a thing where the dungeon is actually competing against the other groups, and the trial is maybe a bit more complex in that you have to actually deal... I mean, this is pie-in-the-sky shit, but I am curious when the contest actually gets resolved. Because, like, I can see that it goes south and then north and then resolves things in Tuliolol. But I don't know how that makes sense. Yeah, I am very curious about what we're going to be doing. Very curious about who we're going to be teaming up with, too. And my guess for the team up like, it very much feels teed up by earlier stuff in this patch, where Wook has a brother who is a Sharlayan scholar, and we know from past patches that Thancred and Urianger are aware of someone... I think I assumed it was asking after the New World, but someone looking for Archons, specifically. It's probably sent for Thancred and Urianger. Yeah, no, I definitely think that's the case. So we've got one side that's invited by Wook Lamart, and then we've got another side that's kind of being petitioned by, her brother. I don't think it'd be hard and fast broken up like that, though. I would be very surprised if we didn't meet very early on, and then both of them make their pitches to us, and that's when the actual division happens, right? There's also the matter of the two other people that aren't talked about. So one of them seems very, like, kind of opportunistic and potentially expansionist, in that they heard that Garlemald is weak, which would mean leading them to war against Garlemald, I guess? Because it wouldn't be all of Eorzea. Eorzea is, like, stronger than ever. It'd be fucking stupid to try and, like, circumvent that. But then that also doesn't make sense, because, like, Garlemald is so far away compared to where they are, that, like, sorry... Like, just logistically in this world, where the New World tends to be fairly isolated because it's hard to reach, I don't see how they could try and get into the middle of the three great continents to try and contest Garlemald land. I don't know. There's probably more nuance to that I'm not, I'm not aware of, but that feels like it's a very long shot. And considering you'd also be going up into the center of the Eastern Alliance and the Grand Company of Eorzea, you would have such a rough time actually, like, maintaining a foothold there. I guess, like, the immediate sides of that range are probably hard to get to, and also, obviously, people aren't really fond of Garlemald. But, like, another invading force... Well, actually, no, that wouldn't be against... That wouldn't be against history, because that's basically what happened with the Autumn War and, Alamigo, where Alamigo fucked over some trade routes that were going through there, and then it started... No, I forget the exact series of events, but essentially it starts with Alamigo angering some other countries by trying to either, I think, expand their lands or something. Then, at some point, they were in a shit position, and Garlemald saw that as an opportunity to expand into Alamigo, and all of the rest of the nations just kind of throw up their hands like, yeah, they kind of deserve that. So it wouldn't actually be surprising if history repeated itself, and then Tural goes up to capture Garlemald for whatever fucking reason. Probably Ceruleum. Oh, shit. Because there is Ceruleum in... Fuck, I've just talked myself into this actually being, like, a non-insignificant threat. I can kind of see it now. Well, yeah, especially if they've managed to do things with, Magitech too. It would actually be a lot easier for them to do stuff than outside. But whether that's accessible to Tuliolol specifically, or if you would have to, like, kind of, like, go over the entirety of, Tural to do that in the first place. Holy shit, Fall Guys. Rest in peace, Mediatonic. Actually, sorry, they're not gone yet, but ugh. I feel like it's not that far off. Yeah, I mean, this also looks like the expansion that's going to have a shitload of content too. Like, the only other thing that's really been a complaint about Endwalker patches is, like, the lack of content there. And that hasn't really affected me, because I've been, like, chipping away at it as I want, like, doing a lot of the job quests and stuff like that. So it's actually good for me, because I didn't miss out on too much with Endwalker focusing on that specifically. Although I still haven't done, like, the Criterion dungeons and that. I really should try and do that, at least. But yeah, there's gonna be more variant dungeons. There's apparently gonna be, field operations like Bosnia and Eureka. There's gonna be the planet thing, kind of, which seems like a mix between, like, the Sanctuary and Ishgardian Restoration from the impression I've got from other people. Yeah. I'm stoked. Yeah, all I really hope is that they don't... I just really hope they don't try and rush things. That's like the one thing I'm worried about. And they probably have, like, a decent broad control over that, but, like, given that, like, some writers are obviously writing entire sections, I do wonder whether we're gonna have sections in the next game that are, like, go a bit too fast too quickly, and, like, skim over things that could be dwelled on for good narrative purposes. Oh! That's you and me! Credits released 1st of 2024? Huh? What? Oh, okay. Why did they have the date? Oh, I guess because, yeah, because this is kind of a live game. That makes sense. January, yeah. Fucking bless you, Yoshida. MMO things change. Yeah, you're right. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Was it like that in the other credits? I feel like maybe I actually haven't gone to the end of all of the credits before. Oh. Oh, probably still a quest to end. Yeah, let's do that before I maybe rattle off another thing. I don't know if there's going to be any more discussion or if it's just going to end here. Lest you wonder about your passage to Tural, Erenville will arrange a ship through his guild. You need only worry about your own preparations. Speaking of which, please take this with you. A rugged and ready knapsack. May it serve you well on your coming adventures. Now, I'm not sure when departure will be, but rest assured I'll let you know when I hear something. Till then, please take your ease. Oh, that's where you get it from. Neat. I was worried that was going to be something I need to collect. I don't know if any of them would actually wear that. Oh, maybe Rey. She carries something bulky. Hello? Oh?
When does the next ship set sail?
Oh my god. We're all going there independently, aren't we?
May I ask your destination?
The north and east, I've already seen.
Just send me west. Send me west until we hit land.
Suppose I'll head west this time.
West, you say?
We're literally gonna run into this fucking man in the jungle. We are literally just gonna run into him in the fucking jungle. It worked for people in 1492. Hey, my boy, where have you been? Oh, yeah?
I see you've made up your mind. I had a feeling you'd be keen.
But to think that our comrades too are thither bound. Fate doth work in mysterious ways.
Sure does.
Indeed. It will be a grueling task, having to contend with them.
Huh.
If the prospect doth trouble thee, 'tis not too late to decline the petition. Though thine expression would suggest thou art far from perturbed.
Oh, how could I possibly be, knowing what's to come?
Thancred, why did you look up spoilers?
Then let us delay no further and secure passage on a vessel.
Aye. This will be a mission to remember.
Gay.
Come, my friend. We make for Taral.
Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering why, Thancred's walk looked like specialized and potentially mocapped? Or, like, specifically mocapped? Oh. Full moon. Or new moon, rather.
Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty? Or the treasure islands beyond the frozen waters of Blind Frost in Offerd's north? The fabled golden cities of the New World?
Oh, of course it's going to pause there. What about Mericidia? When people aren't talking about Mericidia, everyone should be asking. Wayanka now, the tide is high and dawn of a new adventure nigh. Row forth to break Horizon's bond and tread the gilded path beyond. Almost didn't read that last bit. That's it. Soon. Yeah. Fuck balls, I forgot this cutscene was after the credits. Wish we could have I didn't pay attention to the other credits, if I'm honest. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, not soon enough. It's fine. I mean, I've got plenty to look forward to. I've still got some job quests to do. I've still got Blue Mage if I want to do that. I could do any sort of shit. Yeah, which I guess leaves the question of what I'm going to be streaming. Like, if I'm going to do 14 at all. Which, yeah. There's a chance I might take a break a bit closer to it to just, like, you know, lapse a sub and let some money be saved. But yeah, like, blue rating over here, it's a damn clown car. I can only imagine. I've been BLMing to get used to long casters again in anticipation of Pictomancer. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that as well, to be honest. Try and master. Yeah, I'm really hoping Pictomancer is halfway between Red Mage and Black Mage, like old Summoner was, because I miss that. I miss having a caster that isn't quite as mobile as Red Mage, but isn't as immobile as Black Mage. Because I had that, and I was like, yes, I picked the right niche, awesome. And then they made Summoner a glorified ranged DPS. Abbreviations is gonna be VIP and Pict or Viper. I think VPR, because Viper has it a bit more. I wouldn't be surprised if Pictomancer was just Pick. To be honest, when they first announced it, we'd be getting a caster. I expected to be old Summoner, but reskinned. Yeah, no, that would make a lot of sense. Like, something similar to the Ruin 4 edgy action balancing game with your instant casts. So you have a few up your sleeve, but be careful with them. Yeah, I hope it's kind of like that. Dead by rework. We don't know that yet. I mean, listen, Monk got reworked, and as far as I can tell, everyone likes Monk. And I have to admit, I am also intrigued by Monk. To be fair though, I feel like it peaks a bit too early in terms of the stuff it actually gets and peters out a bit. But at the same time, like, there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. Don't take my bard dots. Yeah, well, I'm kind of surprised that Pictomancer, whatever the caster was, isn't actually dot focused. I I'm really concerned they just don't know what to do with dots, because, like, dots are fun. But it probably, if I had to guess, it doesn't fit in with the 2-minute meta thing they got going, because it means it means a class with it means a job with a smoother damage profile, and that runs counter to the whole 2-minute burst thing. It's one of the reasons I'm not a fan of them going in the 2-minute direction, because I feel like it just kind of limits and shoehorns most jobs into trying to thing on the 2-minute cooldown. But I'm not gonna sit here and talk about all of that shit right now, because yeah, that's it for MSQ. Got nothing else until winter here. To be fair, Bard still fit that, since Iron Jaws applies all buffs with its refresh. No, you sorry, Rizaki, what I meant was that, like, in terms of a flatter, sorry, I don't know what part of that's actually referring to. It's obviously still got dots, but what I mean is that, like, even Bard has a bit of burst, and that's not a bad thing. I don't think, like, a class that has, like, a purely flat thing is healthy, and in fact, it's not explicitly not going to be healthy in a 2-minute meta sense. But, I think the problem is that they end up having to make, they will end up having to make classes that rely on dots not rely on dots, or have it just as a background thing and not much else, and then the 2-minute burst is actually something entirely different. And when it's detached like that, it doesn't feel good. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, I feel like there was something else I wanted to say regarding, regarding Dawn Trail, but I think I covered everything. Bard doesn't have a strict 60, 120 burst, but its optimal play involves treating it like it does. Yeah, and that, honestly, that's what I kind of like. It's kind of like Samurai, where you can, realistically, you can play Samurai just hitting everything on cooldown, and you can just do it. Like, obviously things line up nicely at 60 seconds and a minute, but so long as you're not capping on anything, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Especially with regard to, your free stickers and, yeah, like in entirely solo play, they do. And with Bard in particular, well, yeah, I guess Bard's a little different, because, like, sorry, no, that's a meta Bard question. I want to kind of wrap up this. I want to get my thoughts out on, like, what's going to be happening for the stream 14-wise going forward before I dive into that. So, I'm still going to be doing, like, job quests and side quests and stuff. I haven't done any of Tataru's Grand Adventure. That's, like, the first on my list that's not just, like, grinding jobs and that. The only one that the only job quest I haven't done, minus the ones I haven't done on stream specifically, is White Mage. Gridania Boring Ass Healer. Back in ARR Riding. I feel like that's gonna be a ride. But yeah, I'm still gonna be streaming 14. I think there might be a chance I'll, like, let the sub lapse in a, like, at some point. I don't know when that's gonna be, but honestly, it's probably not gonna affect stream all that much. Either I'll replace it with stuff during the week, or, yeah, because there's plenty of stuff I want to play, so. I don't think I'm going to be streaming any less just because this is over. One of the things I do want to try and do in Dawn Trail, especially because there is a bit more repeatable content, is try and get back into doing some random non-story stuff on the stream. That's usually been the domain of just me chilling in that, but I feel like it might be a good opportunity with, like, a new expansion and a lot more repeatable content to kind of do, like, a kickback on a Friday if I can't think of anything else to do and just grind away at something. A flexible thing. I want to at least, like, try it again, because, like, I feel like dipping my toes into it every now and then either finding, oh yeah, I absolutely do not want to do that, or, oh, actually, yeah, maybe it gives me more opportunity to do streams and that. Which I haven't been happy on my, like, consistency with it, so. in general. So I feel like I was better last year than the year a couple of years before that, but still. Yeah, so like I guess just in terms of broad plans, like there's still White Mage I want to do, Tataru's Grand Adventure, the Four Lords as well, that I haven't done either. I think I need to complete Four Lords to do Tataru's actually, so Four Lords then Tataru's Grand Adventure. White Mage in the background sounds like a good idea. And then it might be, honestly, after that, if all of that gets wrapped up, it might be something like Blue Mage. There's still, like, a hell of a lot of stuff I could do. I still haven't done the Binding Coils, for example. Well, yeah, I still haven't done the Coil raids. But they're obviously a little harder to tackle just kind of solo, so I'd have to think about what I'd do for that. But, yeah. Well, it's not quite goodbye yet to Endwalker, but, I had a fucking blast with it. I think... The one thing I do appreciate about this, like, at least with the state of the game right now, is that I feel like I haven't missed out on much. Like, obviously, like, I haven't beaten Savages, I haven't beaten the Criterions, I haven't beaten, like, Ultimates or anything like that, and hell, there's a fair bit of those to do. I mean, shit, I progged through T a bit, obviously, and then, Uwu off-stream, I think it was, but, yeah, I'm... Being here for, like, an entire set of patch cycles and that, I enjoy the pace of this game a lot more than I did, like, WoW. Like, and I wouldn't be making content out of WoW, that'd be entirely a me thing if I was still doing that, but... obviously there was, like, lacking of stuff in this expansion compared to others, but, like, the core of it, the, like, real meat of it in terms of, like, what came back every patch, like, it felt a lot more easier to approach, and that's just a situation I'm not used to when it comes to games like this. So, like, I do have to think that I'm probably even wearing rose-tinted glasses now, looking back at some of the shit I had to do to keep up in other games, and what I didn't have to do that here. And yet there still feels like there's power differential between me and people who have actually been invested in it, which I think is probably ideal, honestly. Yeah. I'm gonna be sad to see this expansion go. But, I mean, there's plenty to look forward to. New job quests, graphics update, potential new adventure. Oh. Yeah, right. I need to clean my septum piercing as well. Good timing. Yeah, so, tomorrow, let's talk about more the near future. Tomorrow I'm going to be playing, more Slay the Princess. I'm going to do another run. I'm going to have to remember what routes I did the first time around, so I don't repeat any, because I kind of want to get a bit more of a variety. I'm not ruling out a third stream of that either, but it probably won't be until after they've done an update. The devs have said that they're going to add a bunch of stuff for free, that they either left out, or they're going to expand on stuff they didn't have time to get through, etc, etc. So I'm super keen on that, but I was debating whether or not to do a second stream before that update happens, but I don't know when that's happening, and I'd rather get an idea of what the game is like now before that update happens and potentially changes things. And then on Sunday, I'm not going to be streaming, but I'm going to be over on Luca's stream at Bimbo Cat Food, who I'm going to shout out right now. Please follow her. She's great. Polar opposite energy that I have here. I'm going to be playing some more Lethal Company. I'm really annoyed with myself because I had to step out last weekend when she was doing Lethal Company, and I wasn't able to be there for, like, the majority of it, and I missed out on hanging out with some of my friends. So I'm hoping that I can do it this time. Please let me be able to do it this time. But yeah, that's gonna be the weekend, and then later in the week, I might give 14 a little bit of a rest. I'm probably going to be grinding tombstones too, so I probably won't want to look at it too much. But there's still Elden Ring. There's still Blasphemous. They've been sitting there neglected for a fair while. Blasphemous in particular, because Blasphemous 2 is out now. And I think you know what? I will talk about the next game I plan to stream on the weekend here as well. I think I'm gonna go and play Metal Gear Solid Revengeance. Or Metal Gear Revengeance, I can't remember which. There's a game coming out at the end of January that I want to float an idea past some people for, to see if they'd be keen on being on stream for it. And I kind of want to give that breathing room, rather than, like, finishing on the day of and expecting turnaround on that, because it's like 2 weeks away or something. And that's just enough time to kind of, like, sort things out and figure out, like, logistics of that. But yeah, so I'm gonna pick up Metal Gear. I'm gonna pick up Revengeance. That game has been memed to hell very recently, compared to its release date. So I've lost all fucking memory of that game, from what I learned from Osmosis. I've never played the full game before. But yeah, obviously it's been memed to hell and back, so it'd be good. From what I understand, it's not too long. It's in character action, and I've been kind of itching for that. I haven't fired up DMC5 or any of the Bayonettas in a while either, or even Hi-Fi Rush. So yeah, actually that's something I could go and revisit. It's just like Hi-Fi Rush for like end game shit, or any of those games actually. Yeah, that might be an interesting test stream too. Sorry, I'm cooking while we're doing this. Yeah, so that's about it. Fuck, we should have talked about buds before, because I'm pretty much going to end the stream now. I shouldn't have interrupted that. God damn it. Because I wanted to get my thoughts out there before I distracted myself with more, like, balanced talk, but nah. Moments passed. It's fine. I'm sure there will be plenty of time to talk about that when I'm doing White Mage and talking about jobs in general, I am sure. Yeah, so... anyone on right now? Right now. God, I hate what they do to the fucking follower list. So, only very big people and spoilers. Yeah, okay. Yes, we're not raiding out tonight. God damn it. Feels like that happens every night. I gotta follow more people I can raid. God damn it. Anyway, that's for me to do off stream. Yeah, so, thank you very much for watching live or on the VODs. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I hope to see you all next time.